Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jess, your host for Mondays on the Beaver Bunch, and it's October 12th. Can you believe it? October 12th. I'm super excited because I love Halloween and it's coming up really quick. That's right. So I wanted to answer a few people's questions, inquiries, stuff like that. Yes, I'm growing my hair out and it's super long. What ended up happening is I was wearing a bunch of hats and beanies and things like that for a very long time, and then I finally have been taking them off for videos and such, and my hair's gotten really long. Yes. I took out my Monroe, and there's a little spot left on my face. Whatever, nothing I can do about it. And I just got tired of it. I've had piercings all over my face and all that stuff, and I don't know. I don't know if you grow out of it or you just get sick of it, or I don't know. It just wasn't matching the way that I wanted to present myself. So I took it out, and then also I am shrinking my ears. I just felt like it. I don't know. That's it. I don't really have an explanation, but that was to answer some of you who have been asking about it. There you go. This week we are talking about our favorite coming out story, and I have two. And the reason I have two is because the one about me coming out to my mom I've told before, and so I don't want to bore you with that same exact story. So I'm going to tell you the coming out story of me coming to terms with the fact that I was gay. So basically coming out to myself. It was the summer after my freshman year of high school. So I was about 14, maybe 15. And I had gone to the video store. That's right, folks. VHS. Video store. Legit. I went to the video store with my mom, and I picked up this movie. It's called Foxfire. And I was like, hey, is it cool if I rent this for me? And my mom had never heard of it, and she always let me pick out my own movies. So she was like, yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine. So I take it home, watch the movie, and I am completely turned on. And not turned on in a sexual sense, but like my brain waves are going crazy, turned on, like just realizing that this is what I am. In the movie, there's never like this outward display of homosexuality between women, but it definitely has the feeling of it. So you can sort of guess and make your own assumptions as to what's going to happen or whatever, what's behind the scenes. I had never in my life heard of same-sex relationships or anything like that. I know you would think that I was born under a rock in some sheltered family, but I really wasn't. My family was super open-minded. It just wasn't something that had ever come up before. And I was in public schools my whole life, but public schools in the 90s, they definitely weren't going to tell me anything about being gay. Foxfire and Miss Angelina Jolie. Cheers to you. This was so monumental for me because I finally felt like I belonged. It's just this weird feeling. It's a weird feeling because my whole life I had the cool friends. I had I remember like prior to this in like elementary school, I had the older girls that were like, Jess, come hang out with us. Let's go play soccer. Let's do this and that. And I was like, sure. But then I would do it and I felt so awkward. And sleepovers, oh my God, those were the worst. I don't know why. I don't know why I felt, well, now I know why, but at the time, I didn't know why I felt so awkward being around girls, like having girlfriends. I felt so much more comfortable being around boys, and I watched this movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to make out with the girls. That's why. Duh. So that was my coming out story to myself. My coming out story to my mom. So I start hanging out with all these, like, kids that are gay, not necessarily at my school because there were only two of us that were out, which was myself and my best friend. And so he and I would go out on Wednesday nights. And there was this coffee shop in Long Beach called The Library that we would sneak out to. I remember one time I was running out of the house and I had my rainbow belt. Don't laugh. Rainbows were in. They're cool. So I had on my rainbow belt and I go to leave the house. And my mom's like, hey, I just have a quick question for you before you leave. Like, I was just wondering, when I was in high school, when I was about your age, everyone that wore rainbow anything, typically it meant that they were gay. She was like, you don't have to tell me. You can say yes or no, but are you gay? And I just looked at her. I was like standing there like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're having this conversation right now. But I guess, when is that conversation supposed to happen anyway? So I was like, yeah, I am. And she was like, okay. She gave me a big hug and everything was cool. She was like, have fun tonight, be careful. And I like went out and had a great time, and the next thing I knew, my whole family knew. My mom had told everyone, which was totally fine. My family ended up being really supportive, and I can't thank them enough for being that way. So that's it. That's my coming out story. I mean, we all have coming out stories. Again, I've said in previous videos, we're gonna be coming out for the rest of our lives, everywhere we go. So, but that was my initial breaking into the gay world. So that's it. That's my video, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. I don't know if you guys have ever had Dove Promise the little chocolate things. I love them. Mary buys them for us all the time, but they have little messages on the inside, and this one says, "Don't judge others or yourself." That's my message for this week. So I hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye, guys.